Welcome back to another Pokemon What If Wednesday, where every single Wednesday morning I post a video going through last week's investing and collecting questions, where your guys' questions will actually be featured in the video, and one person's question will actually help me make the thumbnail every single week. So please drop your questions down below for a chance to be in next week's video. And if I did comment to you saying great question, I might use this and I didn't, please drop that same question again, and make sure you put repeat question and it will get moved to the top. And I'm not saying I'm some guru who just knows everything, but when I'm unsure, I always like to talk it out with a few people. It always helps me make my final decision. And if you guys want to know when 151 comes back in stock, or maybe some Pokemon Center ETBs, or just any awesome Pokemon products, please hop over to Instagram and give me a follow there. Otherwise, if you want to support more, you can now join my membership. It's only 99 cents a month. I post it there also, and then you can use exclusive emojis like Dragonite and Suicune and stuff like that. And then, of course, if you guys like the content, make sure you guys subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. Leaving a like and comment helps the most, and I comment back to every single person. Might take me a few days, but I will definitely get to you. But all right, let's get started. First question is a question to help me make the thumbnail from a member at Clayman IFCC Beard. I feel like Paldean Fates is a bit underrated. Do you think it will ever grow in popularity, maybe in 5 years or so? For example, the IR Wugtrio and Pami are around 40 cents, and the other IRs or full arts are around 10 bucks mostly. Would it be worth picking up a bunch of these hits while the prices are so low, or is this expansion a dud? Yeah, when I think of this set, I don't really think like a big singles play. Even though I did buy a bunch of those illustration rares, they were literally 25 cents a card if you buy it in bulk. So, I mean, that you can totally do, especially you're only spending like 5 to 10 bucks to get a ton of them, and there's only 3. I do wish Paldean Fates had more illustration rares and special illustration rares. If it did, I think it would be, no joke, like the best set or one of the best sets in the Scarlet and Violet era. But the one thing Paldean Fates that they did amazing is their products. I mean, just look at these collection boxes. All 3 starters right here. I mean, we're talking like, just imagine if this was Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard. And yes, I know they're Gen 9, you might not like them, but a million kids love these guys. So I think these boxes are huge. They have all 3 versions, and it's up 25% already. So if you guys see this box in store, you know, it's a no-brainer. And then same thing with this box here, the Pokemon Center ETB. I was going to buy a couple of these probably 2 weeks ago for 65 bucks. And now the cheapest you can get it on TCG Player is 80. So if you guys do ever order sealed on TCG Player, you can never message the sellers unless you buy the product. So as soon as you buy it, message them and say, you know, if the box has any damage or any tears, please refund me and cancel the order. You know, otherwise, if it is nice, you know, ship it out, obviously. And that's worked for me every time. They always message back and say, you know, it's either nice, or they'll say, yeah, there's a tear, you know, I can refund you. So definitely try that. I'm sure sometimes it won't work, but most of the time. But yeah, $80 for this thing. So as soon as I get done with this video today, I think I'm just going to go buy a case on the secondary market. I have seen them around 260 to 300, but you got to be careful buying these cases. The ones that are 260 have some damage to the case, or they put the actual shipping label right on the actual label for the case, which just sucks. So you definitely have to be careful and make sure you're getting good cases. I mean, you know, it's not the end of the world too, because you can always open the case and sell the boxes individually, but if you're buying a case, you might as well try to get the best case possible. But yeah, I definitely feel like there is some solid plays for Paldean Fates. I mean, even the little booster bundle is starting to go up in price. You know, it was $25, now 32 bucks. We got 6 of them at 33. So we got 4 of them at 35. You know, I think these booster bundles for the sets that don't have, you know, booster boxes are going to be gold mines, even for like the average sets, because they're just so easy, so cheap to open. You know, it's basically a mini booster box, but not as good of value. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Paldean Fates for sure. Next is from another member at Huitinos. I butchered that, I apologize. What are your thoughts on the top valued SIR and Surging Sparks? Hydreigon have the sauce to hang with Greninja, or not popular enough with the fans? Pikachu art strong enough to warrant a high price? Milotic and others? So I definitely feel like the Pikachu is going to do a lot better than people think. But the Japanese prices, we got Pikachu at 155, Jasmine's Gaze at 60, we got the Milotic at 50, and we got the Hydreigon here at about $75. And then we'll have the Paradise Dragana. We got the Alolan Exeggutor coming back in price a tiny bit, last sold $55. But then, of course, they got the Alicia's Appeal here. That's their #1 card. Pretty expensive for that card. I want to say like 150-ish raw. And then trying to find just the Latias here, $75. So I don't know. It's going to be super crazy. I'm so excited to see which ones are going to be like the top, you know, 3 cards. But I definitely think Pikachu's probably going to be #1 if I had to guess. Just so many people like Pikachu, and I think it's going to be one of those cards that a lot of people, it's going to grow on them, especially when they see it in person. But I want to say Latias might beat the Hydreigon and the Milotic. So I think this might take the second spot, especially because it connects and stuff like that. But I could be wrong. Please let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Let's do a little game in the comments and let's put your order of the top 5 most expensive cards for Surging Sparks. I'm very curious to know what everybody thinks. But yeah, I'm excited. It's a very, very solid set. Lots of chases. Next question is from @TheU131. Hey Beard, love that every day I get to drive to work and listen to some Poke Talk. So I'm not a huge fan of Twilight Masquerade. I think it's overhyped and that there's really only one card in it anyone wants. I think the DLC Trainer Secret Illustration Rares are some of the most overpriced cards in all Scarlet and Violet. How much do you think they will fall? All right, let's take a little peek at the set. So yeah, I'm actually shocked too on the value these cards have held. You know, I check this set every week. I check all the sets every week. And these cards just never really go down in price. It's very, very strange. Now the booster boxes are going crazy. Greninja's market price is now $300 something. So, you know, this set is just weird in my opinion. I love the Eevee in it, and then I love the Chansey and the Infernape. The Hisuian Growl is pretty cute. Don't like the Ogerpons. And then I do feel like these will come down in price, especially when they come out of rotation. But you never know. Twilight Masquerade is such a weird set. You know, the mark is just so strange on this thing. Like for the booster box to be 170 is crazy. But again, I've talked to quite a few stores and stuff, and they always said that Twilight Masquerade was their and they always said they got the least amount of Twilight Masquerade for booster boxes. So maybe they did actually short print this set a good amount. We don't know. But yeah, I definitely don't have a clue what's going on with Twilight Masquerade. Such a strange set. Next is from @Elijah Robinson 9157. I recently bought a PSA 10 2022 V-Star Rainbow Charizard for around $130. I know the market has sort of stagnated for the card over the past year or so. Since it's a Charizard, I'm assuming it may increase over time and gain value back. Any thoughts on this? I doubt I'll sell it regardless because it's my first graded card I've ever bought, and I'm not well versed in market trends / investing, so I was curious. Keep up the great videos. Yeah, I think any Charizard's honestly an okay buy, especially if you're getting it for a decent deal. You know, 130 is pretty decent if you're looking at eBay recently sold. Because then too, you can go to highest price here. And some people, you know, paid $200 in September. Right here, 212, September 29th. September 26th, 202. So at least you got it for a decent deal. I can't really see it getting any cheaper than that. You know, maybe close to like 120, 115 or something. But, you know, I feel like it's a somewhat decent gamble to, you know, put your money in a PSA 10 Charizard for sure. Plus, I don't think the card is too bad. All right, next is from a member @JTresson. Hey, Pokebeard, as always, love the content, love the channel. I'm curious your thoughts on the Galarian Moltres Sword and Shield Black Star promo card. The artist, Shinji Kanda, has put out other ultra-popular cards like the Magikarp from Paldea Evolved and the Giratina from Lost Origins. These cards seem to be greatly loved, and the art is so unique. I've been trying to seek out the most minty copies I can find since they are so cheap currently. Any speculations that this card is flying under the radar? Could we potentially see this thing take off after the release of the Magneton promo from Surging Sparks? So if you would have watched maybe my last month or something like that, I bought like 15 of these cards because they're ridiculously cheap, like talking cents when you order it in bulk. But yeah, I think this card is completely underrated. Plus, it's in a Crown Zenith tin with pure Crown Zenith packs. That's why I love this tin so much. So I'm definitely investing in this card and this tin. And out of all those Moltres I got, there's quite a few that were pretty minty that I'm actually very happy about that I will eventually get graded. And then if you look on eBay, it sells for $50, $45 in a PSA 10 here. Not too bad for a card, you know, you can get for literally around $1. But I love the art. Super, super beautiful. Next is from @LiveLaughLoveDisc. Super adorable name. Hey man, love your channel. It's helped me a lot. Question, I have some SIR hyper rare trainer cards that are worth a couple bucks and are currently in play rotation. Once they are not, will they still have value or should I just sell them now? Cards like Iono, Gold Putty Poffin, etc. So it kind of depends on the card. So like the Gold Buddy card, definitely, you know, you could sell that for sure. You know, cards like this, they drop so hard after they get out of rotation. And then, you know, same with cards like this. This card is $60. The Earthen Vessel from Shroud of Fable. You know, cards like that, definitely you could sell when they're hyped up, you know, for the actual TCG. But cards like Iono, that's kind of a different story. You know, she's pretty popular. So yeah, if it's a popular Pokemon or popular trainer, that's where it's a different story. That's where they kind of hold their value much better. But for the regular item cards and stuff like that, definitely sell when they're high. Next is from @Matthew Farrington NZNLD. Hey Beard, love the videos. Watch every video on my way to work in the UK. Question, just purchased a full set of Evolving Skies boosters for $40 and I am thinking hold for long-term investment, but would you send the Umbreon pack off for grading if it was mint? Or is there better future value in it being raw for someone to rip at some point? Also, what defines a PSA 10 pack? Creases, corners, appreciate everything you do for the community. So when you're checking graded packs, it has a lot to do with the actual corners here. So this is last sold on eBay. An Umbreon pack sold for $175 and a 10, $168, $110, $90. You can find them for good deals on auction and stuff. Buy it now is pretty expensive. But if you look at all the packs, you know, they are usually pretty clean, like a nice square. So you got to make sure your corners are nice and good. And then make sure it's not too like crimpled up and stuff like that, even though this one looks pretty crimpled. But yeah, you just want the corners as square as possible. That's what I've noticed for sure when I've actually checked these out. And I think, I want to say it's, no, I can't remember. I want to say it's maybe $25 to get a pack graded, or maybe $15 or something like that. But there's a lot of people in the hobby that don't love graded packs, which I like graded packs. I think they're awesome for display. I haven't graded a ton of packs. I would like to, but I love how big the PSA cases are. Might be worth a try. All right, next question is from @Varnzy20. Thanks for the extra video this week. No problem. About the Zacian and Zamazenta Trainer Box Plus when I first got back into the hobby. Why aren't these doing better given that I haven't seen these in stock for a while? So I actually have a few of those myself. And honestly, it's just pack selection. It's a pretty rough pack selection. It's all early Sword and Shield. So that really, really kills this box. That's basically all it is. Next is from @Trading Card Investments. What are your thoughts on the Yu Nagaba Evolution cards? I enjoy them. I'm collecting them right now in Beckett 10s. These are 9.5s. They're asking $550 for the lot. But I think this will be absolutely beautiful having all Beckett 10s. So for exclusive Japanese cards, I always do Beckett now because, you know, I enjoy Beckett slabs a ton. And for Japanese cards, it's easier to get Beckett because the quality is so much better. If you're collecting English Beckett, it's so expensive and it's just so hard to find the cards you need. So I felt like this was the best way for me to get Beckett into my collection. And then that way I'm getting all the exclusive Japanese promos myself. But yeah, I'm a big fan. They're very, very affordable. So far, I've not paid over $50 for a Beckett 10 of any of these cards. I think I have 4 so far. So you can definitely find them for good deals, even cheaper in PSA 10s too. I've seen them go for $30 in a PSA 10. So very, very solid cards. Big fan. Next is from @Candace Morrison. Hey Pokebeard, the next set we're looking forward to it most is Terrestrial Festival. Thoughts on its investability, collectability? Where is a good place to pre-order Japanese at MSRP? So I'm very, very excited for this set. I think this set is going to be crazy. You know, even though they're probably all going to have crowns, hopefully they give us a few Pokemon without crowns, but I feel like the evolutions will look decent with the crowns, better than a lot of other Pokemon. But we're on Poke Beach here. We already got our first card reveal. Nice little Eevee here. And then we even got the pack art, which has an Umbreon, Glaceon, we got the Tropicos, and then an Ogerpon for some reason. So it's definitely going to be a mixture of, you know, Gen 9 and older Pokemon, but whatever, I am totally okay with that. Especially seeing the Umbreon on the pack. Pretty solid. But yeah, I have high hopes for this. Evolutions just go crazy. So this set is not going to have booster boxes. So I'm definitely going to try to get, you know, I'm sure they'll have some decent promos for some of these collection boxes, but I'm going to really try to stick with the Pokemon Center ETBs. Because if you think about it, if there's no booster boxes, the Pokemon Center ETB is the best. You're going to be getting the most packs with both promos and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to try to get at least, my goal is 3 Pokemon Center ETB cases for this set, which is, you know, 4 per case. You know, that's pretty expensive. That's almost probably $800. So it's going to be tough. But I've noticed the Pokemon Center ETBs, they don't really go out of stock instantly. So I think we will have a little bit of time, but you never know with this set. I mean, Surging Sparks Pokemon Center ETBs are still in stock, but, you know, the Evolution set could be even crazier. But I'm so excited to see what cards we got. Next is from @TheMingler441. As a collector, how do you feel about the Japanese-only cards? Are they must-haves for you too? Yep. I finally just finished off all the tag teams in English, but noticed that there are several Japanese-only ones and that some are pretty badass. Misty and Laurel is sick, and they also have several full arts and secret rares. Yeah, I'm kind of dealing with that right now. I collect the Rainbow English tag team cards and PSA 10s, and they got these awesome gold ones for the Japanese sets that we did not really get. I mean, we got, you know, a couple of them for promos, but like this Mewtwo and Mew here, such a sick card. So once I'm done with the English cards, I will definitely have to go get all the Japanese ones. But yeah, I do the same thing. I feel like it's not really mastering, you know, that collection until you get, you know, all the cards for that. That's why, you know, I have all the original Wizards of the Coast sets completed pretty much. That's why I collect a lot of the Japanese older cards, the ones that we did not get in English. You know, like the Versus set and, you know, Vending series and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel your pain. You just get done with one collection of English, then you realize, oh, there's a bunch of Japanese cards too. So yeah, I'm with you. Next is from @the Gamba God. Hey, Pokebeard, I wanted to thank you for bringing this type of info for people in the community. I have a small channel and I'm currently working on a video covering the risk involved in investing in Pokemon. I'm a fledgling collector and investor. My question is it okay if I plug your channel and Instagram as a reference for market news, speculation, notices for restocks, and ultimately a source I personally use to help me make decisions? You do the sleuthing of work I could never have the time for, so your content is very valuable, but I don't want people to think I'm using your name to get any kind of attention, so I wanted your permission first. Thank you. Well, I appreciate you actually asking. I mean, there are a ton of channels out there right now that are basically doing my exact Market Mondays and Falling Fridays now. I mean, one guy was literally calling it Pokemon Market Monday and doing like the same cards and products that I was covering, and he was posting it the day after me, which was just super crazy. So yeah, I appreciate you asking, and you can use me with whatever you want. Do not care. Next is from @Shavasphere. I probably butchered that. I apologize. When was the last time you sold something and you were glad you did? And when was the last time you sold and regretted it? So the last thing I sold that I was happy about, probably, I haven't really sold a ton of stuff lately because I haven't really needed to, but I would say it was probably the Tulip Special Illustration Rare from Paradox Rift. I sold it on pre-release. I definitely recommend going to your pre-release tournaments where you actually get the build and battle boxes. You're getting cards the earliest you can possibly get cards, and that's when they are the most valuable. I want to say I sold Tulip for around $80, and market price right now is $6. And then the last card that I regret selling is the Umbreon VMAX, sold for $550 on pre-release. You know, same thing, got the build and battle boxes. So I technically lost that on the Umbreon, and right now I do not have an Umbreon VMAX because I will not pay those prices. For me, for Modern, it's tough for me to pay anything over like $300 because I love Vintage, and I can get so many awesome cards for $300 for Vintage. Great question though. Next is from @Mazda Speed Rotor 6855. Have you put any thought into which card party you'll attend next year? Also, do you think there'll be a massive divide between content creators depending on the two locations? I am going to try to go to both. I'm already talking with Pat about being a featured creator, so I'm really going to try to go all out for these next two card parties. But yeah, I plan to be at both, and I definitely think, you know, it's going to be tough. I definitely feel like some content creators are only going to pick one. You know, it's pretty expensive. Like, we spent a ton going to Florida for that card party. But yeah, I definitely feel like it's going to be like half-half for sure. So hopefully, I mean, even just talking to Pat, he said he wants to get the content creators a lot more involved this time too. So let me know down below too if anybody's going to card party. I'm down to meet anybody, hunt for some cards. I love card party. Next is from @JSSmooth4116. I've been collecting sealed 151 bundle boxes of 10. Where do you see 151 products like these in the next 5 years? I think they will be over 1,000. For the booster bundles, that's going to be tough to reach $1,000. I mean, in 5 years, man, that is so tough. Let's see. Pokemon Center ETB is already over 200. 151 UPC is already over 200. The regular ETB is at 100. I mean, I could maybe see the Pokemon Center ETB at 1,000 in 5 years. Same with the UPC. You know, that thing could definitely get close, but that is a huge maybe. You know, it's so tough to say, especially we could get multiple reprints still. But I do have high hopes for 151. I think it is going to be crazy. Next is from @LunchboxXM7WR. Did you hear about GameStop submitting cards to PSA for $15 a card? Would you ever trust GameStop to handle your cards? My local card shop sends cards to SGC, but they are all knowledgeable about the hobby. Not sure how I would feel about trusting a random GameStop employee with my cards. Keep up the amazing work. I look forward to each video. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm with you. It really depends on the GameStop employee. So the GameStop I go to, there's a guy there that I talk to all the time. You know, we're decent buddies, and he knows a ton. So, you know, I would actually trust him to do it. But, you know, if you go to your GameStop and they don't really know what they're talking about, that would worry me a little bit still. I'd maybe wait a tiny bit, you know, let everybody learn how it works and stuff like that. That's probably what I would do. Next is from @Ryan Weaver 7337. Hey, Pokebeard, love the content. It's been super helpful as I've gotten back in the hobby with my kids now showing an interest in Pokemon. I've given myself around $150 a month for Pokemon investing with the idea to hold these sealed products for 5 to 10 years to either give to my kids when they're older and or sell. With that kind of budget, what would you recommend for investing? I know booster boxes are king, so I would assume at least one booster box a month, but with the extra $10 to $60 a month, would you recommend picking up booster bundles of other sets that I may not get a booster box of? Save it to eventually get an additional booster box. Get one Pokemon Center ETB every other month or so. Thanks. So if you got 150, I'd bump that up to 160, get yourself a booster box and one Pokemon Center ETB every single month, and you will be so happy, I promise you, in the future. I mean, just imagine if you do that for a year, you're talking 12 booster boxes and 12 Pokemon Center ETBs. That is a nice little stash, especially if you just keep buying booster boxes at 100 or maybe even 90, and then you're getting the Pokemon Center ETBs for 60 bucks. You cannot really beat that, and honestly, it's the smartest thing you could do. Next is from @Changey F Cards. What do you think is best to sell if time and work wasn't a huge issue? A whole case of something versus selling them all individually? Great videos, can't wait for late night, early morning vids. So case is always going to be king unless your case is damaged. It's just easier, but just know with cases, sometimes they take a little bit to sell. So you have to be patient. You know, you're definitely going to have to be the cheapest online if you want it to sell right away. So that's why I like cases too. You always have the option to open the case and sell them individually if your case isn't really selling. But there is almost always a premium for a sealed case. Next is from @GamingChambers835. New to investing, mostly interested in 151. With that being said, I broke down and bought the Charizard PSA 9 for 135 after trying to rip one for a while. Would you refrain from getting a 9 versus a raw card? At the time, they were close to the same price. Would you suggest just getting 10s when investing in graded stuff? Thanks. So yeah, I actually try to stay away from modern PSA 9s. I mean, it's a little different if, you know, the card's hundreds and hundreds of dollars. That's kind of a different story. But even then, I would rather have a raw card that I, you know, hunted and tried to find the cleanest card possible. So that way I know it has a decent chance at getting a 10. That PSA 9 probably got a PSA 9 for a reason and probably will not, you know, cross grade to a 10 if you try that. So I would definitely stick to either getting super clean raw copies or PSA 10s if you can afford them and they're not too expensive. Next is from @Rusterband. How do you feel about the Classic Collection at 200? Never was interested at 400, but it's half the price now. I might end up grabbing a few. So I was going to buy a couple, but they're just too big. You know, I don't have that much space. They're going to get damaged also. The corners, I mean, it's just too big. And then if you think about it, for $200, I can get 2 booster boxes. You know, if you get 3 of those, you can get a sealed case of booster boxes. And then too, if you even add $50 more to that 200 at 250, you're getting a sealed Pokemon Center ETB case. So in my opinion, I'd rather have the booster boxes and the Pokemon Center ETBs over that box. But at $200, you cannot really beat that price. So if you do want the box, you know, that's an awesome price. Next is from a member @AaronBF20. I was looking through Pokemon Center and saw Vivid Voltage booster boxes are still in stock at 140. Do you think that would be a good pickup? Even on secondary market, I am finding them about the same or 160. So it's tough for Vivid Voltage. There's just not that many people that are going to want to collect it to where it's going to move so slowly. You know, it probably will be a $250 box one day, maybe even $300, but we have no idea when. It's going to be very, very slow. I mean, Vivid Voltage was 170 back in the day when it first came out. It was pretty popular, but there's no alternate arts. So I really feel like the sets with no alternate arts now are just going to be moving super, super slowly, except for like, you know, Rebel Clash that was super short printed and stuff like that. All right, next question is from @EricRojas2465. Hey, brother, you are the best Pokemon YouTuber, and I watch you religiously. I really, really appreciate that. My question I just want to ask is, how are you doing? I am doing pretty good. Honestly, I never thought, you know, my channel would be what it is today. And honestly, anybody can do this. You just really have to pump out the content. You know, you have to work on your thumbnails. You have to work on everything and just pump out content and just follow what you actually love. But it still blows my mind that I can literally just talk about Pokemon cards all day for my job, because this is what I do now full time. And I'm so grateful. That's why I really appreciate you guys letting me do these sponsors. That's why I try to find you guys the best possible sponsors, because that helps a ton. And then, yeah, with the whole family and then me being home at all times now with the baby is so helpful. You know, we don't have to do daycare. I get to watch my baby all day long. And, you know, my wife works a few days, and it's just honestly been amazing. And I am so thankful for you guys. I would not be here without any of you guys. And I really, really appreciate you asking that question. My only complaint would be that I do get a little stressed out sometimes because, you know, you got to come up with new video ideas, and I feel like my thumbnails, I feel like they're getting a little better. Got to work on some stuff and editing, and then 2 new sponsors. I'm working on a couple crazy deals with a couple really, really big sponsors that, you know, I might be, you know, flying across the country for and stuff like that. So it's getting kind of crazy, you know, and then I got to worry about tax season and all that. And then after taxes this year, I'm going to get a website, and then we're going to start selling merch and all that. And we're going to really pump it up. And I constantly get hit up by Drip and whatnot to do box breaks, but I'm not a fan of modern box breaks. I've said it many, many times. You guys should be saving your money, buying singles, or at least opening the packs yourselves. I could make way more money if I did box breaks, like way more. But I would just feel bad overcharging you guys on modern packs that you guys can go to the store and get yourselves. So that's why I'm not a fan of box breaks. You know, this channel is all about saving money. And I know basically every other channel now does box breaks, but not a fan of that at all. So just please just try to save your money, buy singles, open a few products on, you know, release when the stuff is the most expensive and the most popular, and then just stick to singles. You will save a ton. Same thing with mystery packs too. I'm not a fan of mystery packs at all. You know, try to stay away from that stuff. The reason they're selling mystery packs is so they can make money. You know, they're not doing it for you really. They're doing it so they can make a profit, and remember that. So you might as well just open yourself real Pokemon packs if you're going to do that already. So got to remember all that. But yeah, again, I really, really appreciate you asking me. I kind of went off on a little bit of a rant there. But all right, next question is from @JustinBerry7264. Surging Spark seems way underprinted for demand. What is your advice for this set? So, you know, as long as you can pre-order it for a good deal, that's totally fine. Like if you're worried and you don't want to miss out, Pokemon Center ETBs are still $60 on the Pokemon Center website. You order 4, you get yourself a case. And then 2, for the booster boxes. If you go back and look at my Surging Sparks video on Sunday and you look at the comments, a ton of people posted, you know, where they pre-ordered their booster boxes for $110 still. So you can still find that for a good deal. A booster box for $110, solid price. And then the Pokemon Center ETB, $60, not bad. But yeah, I recommend just pre-ordering if you are worried. You know, you never know. At least you're getting your box or 2 that you want right away to open up or keep sealed or whatever you're doing. And last question is from @DegenWins_M4C. When doing investment pre-orders for a particular set, what factors are you looking at when trying to determine how much you're going to order? Do you see any sets possibly being equal in price when comparing booster boxes versus Pokemon Center ETBs in terms of long-term potential? Thanks, Beard. Definitely, I feel like Obsidian Flames, Pokemon Center ETB will probably always beat that booster box. Like, no joke. But it's so tough to say without knowing the actual promo. The promo matters a ton. So like the Magneton promo for Surging Sparks, very solid promo. Not the best. It's by an awesome artist, the same artist who did Magikarp and Giratina. But still, you know, very, very solid promo. Like the Charmander one from Obsidian Flames. That's why it's going crazy. Snorlax from 151. So, I mean, for like the EV set coming out, I'm going to guess that promo is probably going to be a banger too. I'm hoping at least. So that ETB is going to be crazy. So it really just depends on the actual set and the promo for these Pokemon Center ETBs on what I'm going to pre-order. So, you know, you can just kind of tell too, just by looking at the actual set. Like my favorite thing to do is actually look at all the sets and compare them all. So that's what I do every single time a set comes out. I look at the whole set and I compare it to every other set before, and then I actually rank it, which my next Sunday video, not this Sunday, but the Sunday after, is going to be my ranking video where I rank every single Scarlet and Violet set. So definitely check that out. But yeah, like I said, it just all depends on the actual set and the promos and stuff. But in my opinion, like let's say you're on a budget, like the guy earlier who says he has $150 a month to spend. You know, not a crazy amount, but a decent amount. No joke, the booster box in Pokemon Center ETB is just perfect. If you can afford more, you know, get yourself a couple booster boxes and maybe a Pokemon Center ETB case. And then if you can afford a ton, get yourself a booster box case and a Pokemon Center ETB case. And then if you're a real big baller, get yourself 3 Pokemon Center ETB cases and 3 booster box cases. That to me is like the ultimate thing. And then 2, for the sets that don't have booster boxes, get yourself a few booster bundle cases with the Pokemon Center ETBs. Like, that's the smartest stuff. It really just depends on your actual budget and what's in the set. But if I had unlimited money, I would do that for every single set. 3 booster box cases, 3 Pokemon Center ETB cases, and 3 booster bundle cases. I would literally do that for every single set. But I do not have that much money, so I cannot do that. But all right, that was today's Pokemon What If Wednesday. If you guys do have any questions, please drop them down below for a chance to be in next week's video. And then too, like I mentioned before, my Instagram, membership, subscribe, notification bell, you guys know what to do. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. And if you want to watch my last Pokemon Market Monday, which was an absolute insane Pokemon Market Monday, click this video here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.